This week we travel to the southeastern shore of Otsego Lake, to the town of Middlefield. It is made up of two picturesque valleys cut by the Cherry Valley and Red Creeks. In the mid-1700s, this area was divided into 3 land patents, named for the individuals who purchased them through the Royal Land Grants. By the early 1800s, there was significant business activity in the town, including the Phoenix Cotton Mill, as well as agriculture, cheese-making, and eventually, primarily, hops. After the Civil War, the population of the town stabilized and a larger schoolhouse was needed. In 1875, the District No. 1 Schoolhouse opened on a rise of land overlooking Cherry Valley Creek. It served the community for nearly 80 years. Today, the school is home to the Town of Middlefield Historical Association.
Agriculture was the main item that kept them going. When they cleared off a lot of the land, they made potash and charcoal. Buckwheat was a crop that is a fairly short season crop, and it grew on very poor land. And if you had weeds or anything, buckwheat was the crop to plant because it crowded them all out. It was ground and it had to be sieved through cloth rather than through screening because you had to get all the shucks out. And buckwheat became a real commodity for pancakes. That's where buckwheat made its fame. Over in Middlefield Center, they had a last factory. And what's a last? Well, that's the form that you make shoes on, and to fit the leather to the shoe. And they had a last factory which shipped last all over the, well, I think all over the world, probably. I think it was the largest last factory in the United States. I know at least in New York, not maybe, but the United States.
Leslie mentioned shoe lasts. Here's what one looks like. And it was this that they would form the leather around to make a shoe. Wealthy people would have their shoe lasts designed around their own individual feet so that when the shoes were made, they would fit perfectly. The town of Middlefield was the largest hop producer in the county of Otsego, and Otsego was the largest hop producer in the entire world.
Be sure to visit the historic Old District No. 1 Schoolhouse today for their first annual Christmas at the Schoolhouse. There's free admission with the donation of a hat or mittens or a canned food item. Enjoy a holiday celebration with caroling, a cookie walk, music, and more today from 1 to 5 in Middlefield.
It's the feeling I get when I look around. It lets me know I'm home. I'm making this valley my home. I'm so proud to call it my home. Oh, it's not what you take or give, and it's here I want to live. Yes, I'm making this valley.
Overlooking the hamlet of Middlefield is the Baptist Church built in 1826 in what was then known as Clarksville. The church design was based on the designs of noted Boston architect Asher Benjamin, known for his Federal-style architecture.
The church here has always been very progressive, going way back to 1817 when there was a black woman congregant, and also it had the first woman pastor in 1909, and behind me is an organ that was built in England in the 1700s, and if you come here today you can hear it being played, and it is older than the one in the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C.
If I listen hard enough, still hear the sound breaking in my heart, yeah. Your tears on the ground.
The building behind me was built for George Clark in 1791, and if you are familiar with Glimmerglass State Park, the beautiful home on the hill there is Hyde Hall. He also had that building built for his homestead. When Dr. Metcalf bought the house back in the 1840s, he had this small building behind me constructed to house his office. So if you had any problem back then, you'd visit Dr. Metcalf right here. Right in the center of town there is the Jeremiah North House. It is a private residence, but every October it is transformed into Christmas. It becomes the Dickens House. Every room is filled with Christmas fun and items that are for sale. When I say every room, I mean every room because we're looking at the kitchen all the way to the bathroom.
This is our home. Yes, we're open from October till December 20th every year. In October, we change everything. Barbara takes everything out and a lot of our personal belongings, and fall and Christmas enter the house, and we start selling to the general public. It's wonderful. We have a lot of fun. We enjoy doing it. We're both retired. We owned a flower shop for approximately 20 years, and this is kind of an overspill of that, and we love the public and love to meet people.
For you shoppers, there's complimentary cookies, coffee, and mulled cider. It may be the Dickens House, but I can tell you one thing, there isn't any Ebenezer Scrooge here.
Enjoy a Dickens of a Christmas at the historic 1810 Jedediah North House. The shop is open 10 to 5, Wednesday through Sunday, on County Highway 35 in Middlefield.